started listening to music with a different set of ears as cultural information. Through music, I became more interested in the diversity of the Hispanic American experience. Once I plugged into the salsa world in the late 60s, early 70s, I became really good at trying to sort out the lyrics and understand what the words were. I went to college with the idea that I was going to hopefully find a way to deliver the message of what we were doing to people who might listen to it in a different way. It started with music. I was one of the original members of the Renegades. When I went to junior high school, we were physically attacked, the Hispanic kids. We were in the monolingual Spanish class, the special class, the bilingual classroom. And when we went outside, the kids in the neighborhood will gang up on us. You end up learning how to bond together for self-protection. And eventually we became good at that. And we figured out that if we learn skills to go along with that identity, that we would be more effective. We are going to practice karate. We decided to hang around in the stoop, kind of let people know when they walk up and down the block that, yeah, we're the ones. We own this block. It's delusion, right? And then we started playing music in the stoop. Someone decided, let's get a bike. Let's all get the same bike. That way, when we walk down the block, we all look like a gang. We were like young, right? We were like 13, 14, 15, 16. As time went on, we began to see the young lords. They moved right into our block, 117 and 3rd Avenue. So we see the young lords, and they got a better message than we have. Their message is the system is bad, there's police brutality, there's garbage that is not being picked up, there's people who are hungry, we need to have medical services for people who are not getting it. Our message was, let's meet in the corner and beat each other up. I always said to people in my generation, I'm not a good gang member. I'm just not a good gang member because I don't believe in this. This is dumb. I mean, I like the colors, I like the bike, I like staying in the stoop, I like the music, the idea that we're together and creating a group. But the idea that we have to fight other groups who are like us did not appeal to me. I would also ask the question, who is the enemy? Who is the enemy? This gang. I say, okay, and who are they? Oh, another Black and Puerto Rican group. I said, but wait a minute, who are we? Black and Puerto Rican, right? And they're like us? So why are we doing this? Eventually, a guy came from the military, Vietnam, with an idea that was innovative. He said, I'm going to organize us into something better than just fighting each other. It was a cross between the young lords and the traditional gang. So it appealed to some of us because some of us were still in that stage where we're undefined. He was thinking we had to have ground rules. We cannot do certain things. And that started a discipline within the gang because he came out of the military. And one of the things that he innovated was the idea of limiting the amount of drugs that you use, or you cannot be a member. I thought it was innovative. And it was appealing to some of us. We can't be like this because one of the things we're going to be doing now is cleaning up the neighborhood of hardcore drug dealers. You sell whatever you want, but not in this neighborhood. That worked out. And that sort of motivated a lot of us to consider other better ideas. Once we felt that we won that battle, then other ideas that came our way seemed even more reachable. And one idea was one guy that came down the block who was white and who came from Yale University. He had this idea that the building that you're using as the headquarters of your gang, which is an abandoned building, you could actually do better than that. You can actually rehabilitate this building and you can occupy it legally. I can help you apply for a grant. That started this whole idea of what later became known as the sweat equity movement. The idea that if you put your sweat into an abandoned building, legally that's yours now. So we proposed that through the guy to the city, and the city agreed. A lot of the people here do not have any weapons. They got hard hats, scales, hammers. They're builders, they're not fighters. And that's the message that I tell my students. In the Lower East Side, they had a similar movement. That's how we started in the building at 119th Street. It was at that point that I left.